My name is Jeanette Sera. I work for people opposing women abuse. A lot of people know it by the name POWA. It's an organization that was started in 1979 by a group of volunteers. They realized that in their area around Johannesburg, there were no services for women who were experiencing abuse in their relationships. So they started this organization. And in 1981, they went on to open the first shelter, the first of its kind, where women and their children were accommodated. Socio-economic problems in our country, unemployment, those things are drivers of gender-based violence. One woman killed, one woman raped is one too many. It needs to stop. What we've seen happening in the country is that it feels like the stats are growing and the acts are becoming gruesome. I've seen women who have been burnt with acid. I've encountered women who would lose, for example, an eye because of abuse, women who have lost their lives. You really feel that the men in our country really hate women, the way the women are being killed. With the statistics on gender-based violence in our country, we become overwhelmed, but I really do believe that we start small, bit by bit, as individuals, as families, as society, as community, as a nation. We need to do our bit. For an example, if you are a man, you see another man abusing or saying something derogative about a woman, call him out. Don't act macho and say, it has nothing to do with me, it's none of my business. You need to tell him that, no, not in my name. I'm a man and abuse is wrong. Abuse can happen to anybody. It could be your mother, it could be your wife, it could be your daughter, it could be your grandmother. Do something. Be concerned enough for your country, for the women. You need to be aware of what you are teaching your children, especially your boy children. Teach them about equality and about respect, especially of women and girls. For you to expect them to be good men, you need to instill that in them. They're not gonna learn it anywhere else. By doing that, I think we'll be able to flatten the curve of gender-based violence. We are based in Johannesburg, where survivors of gender-based violence can either phone the office to make an appointment and come through as a drop-in, where they will receive counseling from qualified social workers. We are able to reach women in other provinces through our telephone counseling. We have shelters. Those are places of safety where women can come through together with their children, where they will also receive the services of a social worker. We also have pioneered what we call a second stage house that is geared towards women who are employed and who are able to pay towards a rent, but also they need a bit of safety. As an organization, we are excited that the Victim Support Service Bill has come out, which will hopefully put the survivor at the center of the justice system. We are famous for having good laws, around the world, but I think our issue is implementation. So part of our responsibility is to work with the government to make sure that those laws are put into practice and are beneficial to the survivor. We need commitment from everybody to make sure that that strategic plan becomes a reality. We work also with corporates like MultiChoice, Joko, because as an NGO, we depend on funding to be able to do our work effectively. My dream would be for also women in the rural areas to be provided the services that they deserve. They also deserve a voice where they are empowered enough and they can raise their voice against culture that usually would drive the violence that they experience in their environment. It is important that we do something about gender-based violence, that we make our country safe for women and girls to live in, for them to be able to explore and realize their dreams. Working in an environment where you deal with issues of violence every day can really be traumatic. You work under difficult circumstances. You work in an NGO where you don't know sometimes when is the next paycheck coming from. You work in an environment where you don't have benefits, where you're gonna grow old without a pension fund. But you also get fulfilled when you know that you've helped one woman to break the cycle of violence.